Good Guam morning, everybody. How are we? Hope you're well. Welcome back to another episode of I Still Don't Have My Quest Cape, and I still have this sand. So many things to do. The current project is so many things. The current project is can we dorb and do farm runs? And the answer is definitely yes. But the follow-up question to that is, how well can we dorb with farm runs? So I yesterday was sort of a test run. I have been doing all of my Dorgeshuun lamps on a very strict inventory of 18:3 ratio, 18 sand, 3 seaweed. And this ratio did not allow to hold any looting bag or anything else, and I couldn't even, I wouldn't be able to do a herb run on it without doing some really questionable dropping and juggling of items. So we tried a bunch of stuff yesterday. It's yesterday's VOD. And today I'm thinking about taking it further. What I have going on right now, we set up spellbook filtering to be able to run these herb runs, and I get off lunars in my house and do my herb run, and then I get back on lunars. How's it going, Matter? How we going? But yeah, what this specific loadout works well for is if you want exactly a 12-2 super glass make. So if you have 2 seeds in the seed box, the technology is like this. Hold on. The technology, it can't have you stealing my bucket, is basically you arrive at the bank like this, and then you empty seed box, and then you unnote 12 sand, then you fill, and you unnote 2 seaweed. So that's been great and delightful, because like the fact that the seed box is with me, the whole point is being able to do herb runs. It's not an arbitrary item. So that technology tickled my brain, and I was like, okay, what if we went further? So currently these items, these keys and the tome are placeholders. I am still deathbanked a little bit. There's some seeds in there and a barrel. But my thought was, what if we manipulated these 4 spaces as well? And I think this might be like a vegetable sack moment, but I'm open to thinking about other items that we could bring that we can like... I'm looking for items that are one-click, like, fill empty, that I can shift-click... Oh, thanks, sticky keys. That I can, like, shift-click, left-click, empty, and fill. So, surprisingly, the best idea is veggie sack. Like, the vision. The vision is, like, say the tome is a veggie sack. It has 3 veggies in it. You like, empty it to get to your 12-2, and then you fill it so that you have 3 extra spaces to hold glass overflow, and then that makes your 12-2 inventory last longer before you have to run back. The vision! Unfortunately, like I'm in dire bag situation in terms of LMS points, Slayer points, everything. So I don't know. Rank 23 Gamma. How many KC we talking? I'm thinking to reset. I'm just not sure. I want to explore multiple possibilities before, like, doing this, because if I reset and it doesn't work, we're cooked. But surely, like, maybe what I had in mind can be improved upon, but what I suggested should work as I described, so let's try something. YOLO? Yeah, it's dire. Like I hate this place, and I only have oh no, I have one emergency bag right now. And 25 Slayer points. So if this doesn't work, I'm cooked. Ugh. For science? YOLO? YOLO for science? A little spooked by seeing that. Is it bad practice to rely on the skeletons of Edgeville for your bags? This? This thing? Here? Up here? That's where you get yours. If you execute the technology correctly, then you're gaming. There's tech with the zombie hand, where you can basically reach them, but also not be killed. Yeah, what I do is, if I can be death piled and then go fetch a bag, that is 100% what I will do, is just go to Ferox with nothing and go kick rats. Like, I'll go here with my pile on the floor, go out, and go kick rats. If I'm death banked and I don't have a bag and I'm risking stuff in death bank, I get it from Justine. But if I can avoid it, I don't want to be death banked because LMS sucks. Is it Dorbing time? Yeah, I'm thinking of adding some technology to the Dorbing time, and I'm bemoaning the lack of bags. But I think for science, we just have to do it. Alright, so let's try something. Yo, to be so real, the best possible fill empty would be like a herb sack with 3 grimy guams. Alright, put that on the list. But for now... The only technology I added was Magic Imbue, but I was doing 318. Magic Imbue is a fantastic shout. So, like... Oh, I have no money, lol. The cookery I want to add is just... All I'm trying to do is add herb runs. But if I'm gonna do herb runs, I'm gonna 28 item. So I mean, this could escalate pretty crazily. I don't know. Is there a way to Dorb on 318 and do herb runs without dropping stuff? Because that's my dream. This is... Oh god. Okay. I think this is the technology. Seems like too many inventory constraints. Well, I think we're gonna be gradually just pushing the limits of the insane technology. So the idea is, these items instead, I just let them sit in Death Bank. And rather than them perma-ragging the Envy, we do this. The technology. So I did some test runs of door being on 212, right? As all of my Dorbs have been 318. Strict 318. And I did some runs on 212. I click faster than seedbox. No. It's gonna be seedbox and cabbages. It's gonna be both. Like, let me sell you a vision. It's both. So the way this works hypothetically is we use the seed box to get our 2 spaces as a placeholder for the seaweed. This is surprisingly cozy. Like, you don't have to do takeoffs. The separate step is we use the cabbages to manipulate for the sand. Then we fill the sack so that we have 3 extra spaces for the super glass make. Wouldn't catch me adding another click for every door run. Oh no, this might be awful. However, like, I have done a lot of 318 Dorbs, and we are going to see if we're just gonna see. Alright, I am in fact death banked. Like, the purpose is to find out how much bullshit we can cram into the inventory. If you know of other things that we could empty and fill, I am all ears. But this is just the first thing that came to mind. Okay. There's a Reddit post already with that. It's like 150. What are you talking about? The real question is if we can fletch. So, of course you can. So here's the tech on fletching would just be We're not talking about cramming up as... No, we're not trying to... I want to be really clear. We're not trying to see how much crap we can fit into one inventory. What is the most items we can hold? What we are trying to do is create a loadout for super glass make with a ratio of 2 to 12 instead of 3 to 18. 318 is very, very strict and doesn't really allow you to have a seed box and a looting bag on you. I'm trying to dorb and farm run. But when you do that, if you have, for example, these 3 items here, I was doing it with these items in my inventory as placeholders so that we could have 2 and 12. Okay. But if the placeholders are permanent, then when you cast Super Glass Make, you're nerfing how much glass you can get, right? On a 318, you'd be running up to 21 glass. On a 212, you'd be running only 14. If I use something like this sack, we can temporarily put the cabbages there, fill the sack immediately before casting, and then increase our 14 up to potentially holding 17, which will give us a longer inventory. That's why we want to bring the cabbages. If you didn't want to mess with the cabbages and you wanted to have perma-rag and you were fine with having a maximum capacity of 14, make these 3 be fletching supplies. And then you can just do that. We have options. The real tech is noted molten glass. Yeah, noted molten glass, Muspa, Tob, Thermi, that's a play. But the thing is, like, we're trying to do this for the people who don't have that. This 12.2 is for 3 kinds of people. Like, it's for anyone who doesn't have access to molten glass, anyone who doesn't want to do charters, and it would work also for anyone bagless who is hauling other stuff. So that's the people we're doing this for. I'm doing it because I want to do herb runs. If you wanted to empty and fill your rune pouch every time you bank, there's a +1. The empty works. It's the fill that is cringe. In a world where I can one-click fill rune pouch, that's the correct play. I just like could not figure out how to do that. All right, so what we're doing is we're gonna reset because I want the opportunity to try with the cabbages. If you try with the cabbages, it'll make it a dynamic loadout rather than a perma-rag. See if we can get up to the 14 inventory spaces for science. This is my last LMS bag. It's so over. Remind me coins, please. I need to bring coins. Should be fun to see. It might be a little cringe, but the reason this inspired me, gave me a little bit of hope, is I ran a few hours of Dorbs on the 12.2 with the very strict, like, maximum inventory of 14 glass. And I got rates that pretty much match if you're doing charter Dorbs. So I was like, if I can match charter Dorbs on this, what happens if we increase the number of glass by 3 per inv? I bet you I can get pretty close to points, pretty close to actual, like, 18.3 rates. And that's the technology I want to see. Okay. So, I need to be slightly careful about what I'm bringing out here. But I'm super open to ideas. This is a brainstorming session right now. So. What do I Google for that coin pouch? Servant's money bag. Maximum capacity of 3 mil. I think it does multiples of 100 coins. Been using Ferox for 2 years. You also have, since we're just on the topic, there's a few. You also have the option to put in a GE offer for a bond and abandon it, and then you can access those coins from any bank. So if I offer to buy a bond for 25k and then abort offer, there'll be a bunch of 25ks just sitting here. People use this, for example, it's great for like TOB if you want to leave like 100k in there, or some folks early on leave 60k, 70k. Maybe they have to rebuy staff or something to run it real quick. Cool for like possibly wildy stuff. Leave a set worth of stuff in there. Free to play UAM, use it a fair bit. Nice. You appreciate free to play UAM. So, I miss the 18.3. It is, I don't know if we can find a way to make 18.3 work with herb runs. I don't think it's possible. So like, this one would be perfect, but you know, open, there's no like fill option. I kind of understand why, but like, if I had fill, yeah. So if you have a max cape, a concave, a desert ami, or noted glass, none of this matters, and you can skip this all entirely if you're willing to run Vile Vigor. Unfortunately, I have none of the quality of life things that make it Pog. So I'm doing this for all the people who are like, what do you mean just max? This is for you. Hi, Gerald. How's it going? Trying to see what else. So what else do we want? So we're gonna try with the cabbages. $700k XP away, concave soon. Let's go. Personally, I wouldn't enjoy running this with staminas. I don't know anyone who has tried Vile Vigor with this, but what am I up to? Well, cabbages have entered the chat. I am trying to find a way to do Dorgeshuun light orbs with also herb runs. And that changes my ratio of supplies. And so we're going to be using cabbage technology after a test I did yesterday. This should allow me to also bring a looting bag. I just need to not fuck up because I'm nervous. Okay. Yeah. What is everyone else up to, by the way, like, while I sort out this mess? Gotta wear the cabbage cape to buff the XP rates. Making a million myths capes. Oh, that's your con training method? Cool, cool. My goodness. Let's try. Let's try. Their myth caves are more expensive, but woodcutting XP is nice. Hespori's ready to fight. So true. So true. I can just never seem to kill the Hespori. I'm not sure. Not sure why. Just like literally every time I die. We are going to try 2 seeds in the seed box to represent our seaweed. And we are going to try 3 cabbages in the sack to represent our placeholders. The cookery is real. Okay. Good. Now, I get a bag. Because scary. And we put things in the bag. As I said for a super long time that it was not viable to do this with a looting bag. And now I'm here to be like, actually. The spellbook is comically filtered like a 3-year-old's play toy because I had to filter for doing herb runs without a quest cape or con cape, and I filter because of Lunar Spellbook wanting there to just be the super glass make on there. So that is why we have ridiculous buttons right now. Alright, last looting bag. It's like so over, but we do it for the technology. For the science, we must. Alright, how much crap can I haul now? Is the real question. Yeah, this'll do. And then these friendos can go as well. So what's left? Where are we at? We have 15 spaces. Okay. That should still be alright. It's evolving. The technology is evolving. Any big gains? Yes. Proof of concept that 12:2 super glass make works at Dorbs so that you can fit farm runs with it. So now I am optimizing it with cabbage technology to fit more glass in the inventory. All right, how much other crap are we gonna bring with us? We'll bring those. They can go 2, 4, 5. Cool. This'll do. Okay, I'm leaving this in because it's whatever. How you doing, Brum? Any delve? Delving? Delving is happening. Very hard, boss. It's what they said. Okay. Ideal. Okay. New technology. This is going to be really silly. But hear me out. I need to get through these supplies, and if I get to do herb runs while doing this, it'll help. We need to get back on Lunars, and then I can show you what this all is. So yesterday we did a proof of concept with perma placeholders. This is now an evolution of the method. And again, what this is about is normally, if you're running off of noted supplies, you would want to do an 18:3 ratio for super glass make to operate. I showed yesterday in the VOD what happens when you cast super glass make in different ways with different things in your inventory. All of my Dorbs, all nearly 25,000 of them, I have done on an 18:3 ratio, which requires an extremely strict inventory. You cannot have extra things on you unless you want to drop things on the ground and pick them up repeatedly and possibly accidentally delete shit. It's bad. Today, / yesterday, we explore what happens when you try to do herb runs while doing this activity, while having none of the quality of life that makes it better. What I have found so far is a 12:2 ratio is possible and frankly is competitive with charter ship supply rates. So if you do charters, it doesn't matter. If you have noted glass, it doesn't matter. If you have a con cape, a max cape, or a desert ami and you're willing to run Valvigor, it doesn't matter. It only matters, this is what we are doing only matters if you have noted supplies and are casting super glass make. So that is the highly specific niche we are dealing with today. Alright, what I'm going to do is manipulate the inventory by emptying shit. So we have the seed box and the veggies. Okay, so this gets us to 12 for our sand. And then when we fill our seed box, we get our seaweed. Almost. Yes. Okay. And then we fill this. Because look, if I cast super glass make right now, the most I can get is the 12 plus the 2, right? I can only get 14 glass. But if we fill first, then I cast, we can get more. I know we got unlucky, but we got all of it. And now we send. You'll see. But yeah, like, the cabbage is a placeholder for any other bullshit that we might be able to dream up right here. There's other possibilities. Like, you might even be able to gem bag that. Only thing is, this does mess this up. Let's try that. I'm trying to think if I want to move the cabbage sack or the seed box. It's very hard after months of muscle memory on the same thing, changing 20 different things about it for science. Alright, off we dorb. Anyways, we're gonna try this. What do we have going on in Bougie Party today? Looks like some new fletching activity. Looks like GG's. Delving. Error with the world record run yesterday. Pretty sick. That was yesterday, was it? Yeah, yesterday. World record 8+ floor PB time. It's absolutely gaming. Let's go, dude. But yeah, like this 100% works. I just need to work out the timings on the placement of these items that we're unnoting. And then I think we're laughing. Magic imbue though, that's very interesting. Basically free. I'm not really familiar. All I know is it is a lunar spell, and runecrafting enthusiasts have used it. So what does that look like in practice? If I could run it here, just cast it for magic XP. You mean you just literally click the spell and then do nothing with it? Oh, okay. I thought you were, like, actually adding some tech to it. Ancient tech for free mage XP. What are the runes, though? I don't think I could fit those in. My pet peeve is whenever I go to do something and someone tells me to get dust runes. I'm like... Shut up, I have tomes. They can't comprehend. I already have them? Magic imbue. How would I feel to use house in place of stamps? Is that a killer? So for me, my thing is I like to be in the game loop. I don't like to leave the area. So, I personally don't feel comfy running Vile Vigor or POH. Also, I don't have a con cape. I am on Lunars, and I don't have access, so I would need a way to get to my house. That's why I say that if you have a con cape or a max cape or you have noted glass, none of this matters anymore. If you have any one of the upgrades. Spellbook swap. No, yeah, like I'm 90 magic. I need to start casting magic imbue. Oh yeah, I do. It is fire runes. Fire, astral, water. 318 is definitely impossible if you need stamps in your inventory. 318 only works if you have nothing else going. Like here's my 318 inventory. Sorry for the red squares, but it's literally sand, seaweed, dorb spheres, pouch, stems, and pipe. And that's it. And the second you add anything to that, you're screwed. Because I get to 21. As soon as I unnote one stem, I'm at 21, and then there's my 318. I tried using Chug Jug. It's not sustainable because you have to be at the bank to do it. So that wasn't very good. And so for that reason, it turned me off of the idea of trying to use POH. But I haven't seen anyone run Dorbs where they just don't have stems. Like, I have seen no tests on Vile Vigor. It's not for me. That's something I'm not gonna test. I'm a stem enjoyer. Like, even when people are like, oh, wear your Artie cloak. I'm like, no, like, you want full graceful. You are running the entire time. But yeah, so that's why the entire time I was doing this, I was saying, like, 318 is no good, because, like, let's say to a 318 you add a looting bag, or you add seeds plus noted herbs, right? 2 spaces. You add seed box and looting bag. The second you do that, you're on 20 spaces, so you need to drop your glass blowing pipe or not have a stem in your inventory every single time you cast, and then you need to pick it up again. It is possible, but it's unpleasant. Okay, so the tech is we empty both, we fill the seed box, we unnote a seaweed, we fill the sack. That should be the correct. Yes. See? There we go. And now we have extra. We have 3 extra glass available. So that's why we're bringing the cabbages today, is to enable that. I mean, I can do the 18.3 unnote so fast. This is certainly some of the technology. Ooh, I ran out of disk space. Awesome. Well, hopefully my computer doesn't just give up. 12.2 leads to a far more chaotic inventory and a far less consistent inventory. And again, I've done a lot of this activity, so I'm at a place where switching it up makes it very interesting. This is, yeah, like, man, this is interesting. Well, we're gonna practice. We're gonna practice the technology and see how we do. So, do I want to move these? If I move them, where do I move them? Maybe? Ooh. Ugh. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We should set a new XP goal. Let's go, ooh, that's a little ambitious. Alright, rank 42 it is. We're currently rank 43 crafting at 23.6 mil XP. And it's a little bit of a ways for sure to the next rank. Some of them are kind of clustered close together, but this one is a little bit further. So we're getting up there. It's getting a little more crunchy. Not that I care deeply. It's more of just kind of nice to have like, oh, the next little like next target or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna try this. The goal is to see if we can get this loadout to be close to an 18.3 in terms of XP. I need to practice first though, so it might take a while. And also, we're doing herb runs during this. Pretty much the main development that happened is that, one, I really want to click the farmer, and two, the sand is starting to annoy me, so I figured we should just take a few days and try to knock out the sand. What XP rates are you getting with 318? I mean, it vastly depends on how reclined you are, how much you're being interrupted, what your RNG is, and stuff like that. I can give you a wide range of rates. But for example, running a very strict 12-2, I was finding quite easily you can run at like 95 to 110 K, which is comparable to doing just chartership method. When you start really pushing 18.3, if you have noted molten, you can get 130. My best hours, I would say that's hard to get without molten. I have had incredible high focus, incredible RNG hours where I got as high as 150k. I had my best hour ever was 190k, but that's in like hundreds of hours of doing this. So I would say it's more reasonable to clock. Yeah, I would not quote that at anyone. I would say it's more reasonable if you're on it and your pathing is good, and you know how to unnote properly on noted supplies 18.3. It's reasonable to expect like 120k. I typically I can get 135 if I'm focusing, which does beat the quoted rate on noted molten, but I have also done like 25,000 of these. If I'm gonna be yapping here with you all and figuring out a weird 12-2 thing, I'm expecting this to hit about 120 by the time I figure it out. I think. I don't like to throw rates around, but I know people are curious. But yeah, like, I mean, you know, minus 20k XP per hour if there's a cat on your desk, 100%, right? Like, did you get a snack? Like, did someone ask you to send that thing you got? You know, like, how interrupted are you? But yeah, like, high focus. Yeah, if it's less than 150k, I'll need a refund. I would not expect you to hit one. If you can show me a 150k hour, I would not. I would not. Yeah, I would say most people in most circumstances, when you're learning, you can expect like 85 to 90k, and then once you figure out the method, you start getting about 100k, and then when you know what you're doing, 110k, you can hit quite reliably at a steady pace. I think that is pretty reasonable. If you want to hit 130, you need to be like very perfect, very like that. You need to know like which ladder to click when, and there's a lot of optimization. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, yesterday I was absolutely chilling, like, incredibly reclined, like feet up, cat on lap, reclined, 12-2 when I was still getting 95k an hour. So like, I was like, all right, this is just as good as charters then. So that was interesting. Because like, I don't even want to say respectfully, like disrespectfully, fuck charters. But yeah, I've never done this tech before. This is all completely new. To me. Fuck charters. Fuck cranes. Dorb is love, Dorb is life. Report cranes as bug. They need to fix cranes. You know how they can fix cranes? All they have to do is make cranes, quote, instance, the same way Dorbs are. Each player has a unique crane state, and then the other players have their own crane state, and then they don't get to abuse their alts. Just saying. Unethical Iron Man. Now carry me through Tob. Unethical UIM 1. I mean, for as long as we can just store items inside of bosses, like UIM will never be truly ethical. The only real version of UIM involves deleting OSRS entirely. Remove all items from game. Remove game from game. Go out, touch grass. Ethical UIM. Anyway, listen. If you enjoy cranes, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. It's fine. I'm just enjoying clicking the lamps. I'm also not doing cranes not only because it's not for me, but I'm doing this because I have the seaweed. It wouldn't make sense for me to do cranes. You hate cranes and you're still doing it? Oh. I try not to do the things I hate. Unfortunately, runecrafting exists as a skill, so it's do be like that. They're OP if you're willing to alt. I'm not able to alt. Like, I had someone reframe it a little bit, because, like, my thing is I don't find world hopping to be enjoyable or tolerable, because you're just sitting there with a frozen screen 80% of the time. And someone explained to me that they appreciated doing world hop content because what they did instead was like you do the gamer clicks and then you get a little break as a treat after your series of gamer clicks. And I was like, all right, I can see that. But no, like, I don't even like to teleport to leave this place for herb runs, barely. I like to be in a loop that is a closed game loop. And I think like, yeah, me keeping items, for example, it's not because I need to hold on to them, it's because the items are part of a game loop. And so when we, like, drop or vendor them, I'm like, oh, you don't appreciate that game loop. That's unfortunate. Alright, so as we loop through this again, let me remind what we're trying to do. When we get back to the bank, we have a total of 5 items that we're emptying, right? So we're gonna have 17 open envy spaces. So we immediately empty both of these. And then we fill the seed box. Anything up here? No. Okay. We fill the seed box, we get our seaweed, and then we fill the veggie sack. This is the loop. Dude, equipable glass blowing pipe when? Let me wield it. Okay, so the technology is, instead of running and doing takeoffs, normally I would teleport back to the bank, but I'm yapping. So what we would do instead is this to set up. And now we're ready immediately to unnote our sand. This is just my best guess, by the way. If you have like better guesses, please tell me. And then we do our sand. Then we immediately fill the seed box. Then we do our seaweed. Then we immediately fill this. Then we do our cast. There. Now we're +3 on glass. There it is. That's the loop. There we go. If you were willing to equip a cape, you could put 4 things in the veggie sack. I am not willing. I must have graceful. I need to add this to a loadout so I don't forget. 12 to veggie dorbs for herb runs. Veggie dorbs, veggie dorbs. Feels you I am. My god. Dude, it's glorious. I'm delighted. This is a pretty good middle ground, my friends. Because, like, the thing is, the amount of glass you get with super glass make is variable. So, a lot of the time, it'll generate excess that'll spill onto the floor. Now, 12-2 doesn't always fill up your inventory. But, dude, I have... Because I have so much anyway, it kind of doesn't matter if I use up supplies more quickly or not. Like, it doesn't matter. The excess doesn't matter, because it's not really viable for you to scoop up the excess anyways. My god. Okay, I need to remember to highlight that. Like, I'm so bad with doing highlights and clips and things like that. I'm not saying we need to, like, farm them or whatever, but, like, I don't end up doing highlights and then I'm like, oh, I need to go back to that moment, and we need to highlight the The technology. Okay, we have something downstairs. We have nothing in this corner at all. We're gonna run over. And then we're gonna go to the bank side. Yeah, I'm just interested in like running this a whole bunch of ways, just because it is such good strict crafting XP. And I want to help people out. Since I'm going to be doing a bunch of this, I figured I may as well test different methods. Just not Vile Vigor. I'm not interested in that. If you don't have staminas, it is not my problem. Oh yeah, this already feels better than the small inventory. Inventory of 1214 is not it. Because then you see a cluster and you don't have enough to like clear off the cluster, so then you have to run back. It's kind of cringe. This is much better. Yo. Okay. Nothing here. Let me out. I also wanted to say thank you for the outpouring of support on the YouTube video. Yeah. I'm trying to upload VODs, but they take a very long time. But man, there's over 700 views. That's basically like every UIM. So thank you so much. I think what I'll be doing is uploading VODs just to keep the content rolling while the next project is being worked on, because it takes time. Where are we going? Always be scouting here. Always be scouting. 2 more. Any's? Yes? Over there? No, not the corner of doom. Okay, fine. Just kidding. No, anything to avoid the corner of doom. Never mind, never mind. Hate. Southeast corner is the worst. Is it a good time to draw the editing or coming up with the crazy tech? I've never edited before. So, and this was a collab, so it was very much a blind leading the blind type thing. It was a Google tutorial escalates type energy. Yeah, I mean, there's time like coming up with script. Then there's time coming up with, okay, we have this script, like what does that look like? Then it's like drawing a path for the footage, then doing the footage, then being like, okay, we have an hour of footage at 2 POVs. How do we cut this down? And then being like, wait, what if we didn't cut it down? Because it's funny. So we just have a very sped up intro for the Zoomers who need it now and fast. And then we have an old school D&B 1 hour of doing content type energy edit. And that's what we were going for. So hopefully that The translated. So many more ideas, honestly. I wonder how often 12.2 will actually fill the NV, like to make cabbages worth it. I could skip the second cabbage move and then fill cabbage and do pickup if it's empty. Do we think that would be better or not? Unclear, unclear. Because, like, the current purpose of the cabbages is to get us down to the correct number of sand. But putting them back, we only do because there might be extra glass. It's gonna be a big day today. I say this is gonna sound ironic, but it will be a big day because the sand is gonna go under 3K and the seaweed is gonna go under 6K. It's a moment, let me tell you. Yeah, so editing definitely takes time. Filming takes time. Making a script takes time. Then there's like all of the 200 things that you like want to add. Then you're like, no, I want this to be out on the release date for this thing because we have this hilarious title. Then I had to figure out how to make a thumbnail. Didn't know how to do that. Didn't know what size it needed to be. I literally just have MS Paint. Googling intensifies, like then we had to pick music, then we had to download the music. Then one of us had a really bad internet connection and had to upload the file to the other. And it was rendering. Yeah, it's many things. And then YouTube was like, we think this is World of Warcraft. And I was like, no, it's not. Why would you say that? Why would you say this is World of Warcraft? Sorry, you can't add links to your video. What do you mean you can't add links to the video? It's just and on and on. Oh my goodness. But yeah, in terms of baseline ideas, I certainly have many. Like, already started a script for the next one. The question is really like which of the 3 main floating ideas right now is going to be the next one. I think in the meantime, we'll put VODs up because, oh, why not? Like, they're available. The VODs were put there as an archive and were hidden. And I have VODs all the way back from last March when I started going live. But it was supposed to be a personal archive of unpublished things. And then when I went to go upload the actual video, I saw there was a video that had just been public somehow for weeks that I didn't even know. Like, just full unedited, untouched, nothing, no comment, no description, nothing. And I was like, fuck, you started my YouTube channel. Okay, well, if that is out there and nothing, the world did not end, maybe we can just let the other ones be out there too. Yep. So that's what I did. So I think what I might do, because we do want to separate the VODs from the for YouTube stuff. It's very, very different. You know, a VOD will straight up be like a 7 hours of bullshittery, whereas YouTube is 3 to 20 minutes of bullshittery. So I'll keep the ones that are like theory crafting in one place. And I'll keep, I think what I'll do is make a playlist for like past bougie. And I'll start uploading like the old VODs from last year into the past bougie playlist. I don't know if I even do it by month or whatever, or if we put 2024 or so on. Hi Crystal, how's it going? Have a good stream? Thank you so much. I hope you're well. Free to play? We love free to play. Say hello to the tiaras and air talismans for me. The flesh crawlers. Hope we're well. It's been a minute. Sure enjoyed it. I was gonna say ogresses were also a soft spot. Say hi to them too. Absolutely. Spent a lot of time there. Alright, so again, here's the loop. We're emptying both of these containers to create 12 spaces. Then we're unnoding sand. Then we're filling the seed box. And then we're unnoding the seaweed. So my current thought is, what happens if we just do this? If we have no excess. Alright, yeah, we do. We're gonna fill. Are you doing the orbs in the big picture diagram? Hold up. This one. Yeah. From this one. Lamps. Orbs. Yes. We're currently at the last step, which is the legendary picture. This is how it all began. The thing that is circled in purple is currently what is happening. It sure is. I'm currently trying to make new technology for being able to do this while also running herb runs. Like, effectively, almost all of this, the Dorgeshuun lamps that I have fixed, I have done with a ratio of 18 sand to 3 seaweed. And this requires very strict inventory. And at the time did not allow for me to do any farming, any herb runs, or any other activities. I was stuck here. And so today, I'm trying a different combination where instead of 18 to 3, we're doing 12 to 2. You don't get as many light orbs in your inventory, but you can bring a bunch of stuff with you, including, in my case, farming supplies. And I'm manipulating the number of items in my inventory by filling and emptying a cabbage sack, as well as a seed box that holds the very seeds I would like to farm, which is my favorite part. Yeah. So I hope that explains. This place is a little bit of a nightmare if you've never been here. Even if you've been here, it's and you're trying to do this activity for the first time. It's a lot. But I've done a lot of I've done 24,565 lamps. So I know this area. So right now I've taken it upon myself to test weird combinations. And by the time I'm done testing all these weird combinations, it's not going to matter because I'll be able to just get noted molten glass from Theater of Blood. But it's fine. This is for the people who don't have Tob and Muspa, and the people who don't have a construction cape, or like Vile Figure or Desert Amulet 4 or any of those quality of life things. This is for the people who don't want to hop at charter ships, who feel like their immersion is broken by Shopscape. If you do it like this, you can come up for air in the form of herb runs without having to leave here all the time. That's a middle ground. I'm pretty sold on 18.3. Like, I would really typically recommend 18.3, but this, in my particular instance, I'm not here to like rush 93 or 96 crafting. We're cooking. Yo, what's up, Emperor? Emperor Raid. Welcome in. Shout out Emperor you. Oh, there's someone who knows a little bit about noted glass. How we doing? Welcome in. Hi friends. If you don't know me, I'm Bougie. I play an ultimate Iron Man. I've spent a lot of time in Dorgeshuun lately doing this crafting method called Dorgeshuun Light Orbs. It's very, very good crafting XP. I'm running this off Super Glass Make, and normally I do an 18:3 ratio, which has very strict inventory requirements, so that means that I am death banked while doing it. Today, we are testing what if I didn't? What if I just had a bunch of shit with me? Can we still make it work? And the answer is yes. And so instead of running an 18:3 Super Glass Make, we run a 12:2, which allows me to bring my seed box for herb runs and my looting bag. And yeah, good morning. A good Guam morning. Hope you're well, Beefy. We sleepy? Long day today? Dude, today's been kind of wild on my end. We say simply good time zone. Good time zone is afternoon here, in fact. But a good Guam morning. A GM any time of day. Yeah, so I tested this yesterday on a 12:2. What kind of rate do we get here? Well, it depends. Depends heavily. I can give you all of the rates. First question, do you have a cat? Follow my rates flowchart, will you? If you have no cat, okay, plus 20k XP per hour. Do you have noted glass? Actually, a cat is not plus. No cat is not plus 20k, but cat is minus 20k. Noted glass. Oh, hold up. So the technology. I'm just gonna show. So what we do. I have 17 open spaces right now. Okay. Normally. Okay. If you're death banked. You super glass make 18 to 3, right? 18 to 3. Okay. This inventory in the sidebar. Thanks again for the raid, Emperor. You take care. This in the sidebar is the very strict inventory. But if you want to bring other stuff, this is the 12-2. This is what we're testing today, 12-2. So 17 open spaces. What we're gonna do is empty our seed box that has 2 things in it right now. I've got a couple things in the death bank, but we're gonna bring it to 2 here. This represents our seaweed. Then I'm gonna fill with cabbages. See, now we're at 12. So now I can unnote my sand. Okay. And then I fill my seed box and I unnote my seaweed. And then I fill the cabbage sack and then I cast. And now I have all the glass. Yesterday I tested this. I'll talk about rates in a second. So yesterday I tested this, but instead of having the cabbages, I had like a bunch of extra shit. Like I had 3 moon keys and a tome. That will allow you to have a static 12-2, where like your maximum glass is 14 at all times. But I was like, we can push it. Like, what happens if we get 3 extra glass? If we can push it to 17. So rates. If you're not doing it like this and you're doing an 18-3, I think there's a lot of footage of me doing it. 18-3. And you're not on noted glass. When you're learning, you'll expect 80 to 90k an hour. And then once you get the hang of it, you can get like 95 to 110k an hour. If you're really on it, my high focus very good hours get me about 130k, which is what you get off in molten glass. But I've done mine all off of noted supplies. 135k is me full focus on like good RNG. My best hour ever hit 150, and the most one of them. So sorry, I've had 2 hours at 150, and I had 1 hour where they kept spawning next to each other, and I hit 190k. But you should never expect that. That is in hours and hours and hours of doing this. So I would say, if you know what you're doing and you have noted molten glass, 130k is reasonable. But if you got to be pushing it and you got to know what you're doing, I would expect between 90 and 110k. If you're doing noted supplies. Charter ships is going to nerf whatever your expected rate is by about 10k an hour. Now, what I'm testing is what if we did none of those? So if we instead did not an 18-3 and not noted molten glass, but we did, and also not charters. So yeah, if you have a cat, so if you're learning and you have a cat and you're doing it at 95k an hour and your cat jumps on your desk, yeah, you're getting 80k tops for that hour. Unlucky. Like it's over, you know. Like absolutely. Like if you stop to look at the albino plants or inspect cave goblins and read dialogues, yeah, like it's 50k. Right? Okay, so yeah, inspect all the things. Yeah, no, you're gonna be sitting at 70-80k for a while, my friend. But yeah, side quests, the food, the inspects, like there's a lot of good shit in this city to explore for sure. Now, yesterday I tested So again, just like with, I don't like to throw around rates, but I've done this activity a lot, so I can give you every range of rate if you're reclined or not reclined or very on it or whatever. So let's just say that with charters you can do 95 to 110k reasonably. I was able to get charter rates off of a 12-2 with like almost no effort yesterday. Like I was feet up I was like feet up, cat in lap, coffee cup in hand, 12-2 super glass, make 95k. So it was fine. It's fine. So 12-2 is doable. Now what I want to test today, and this is what I'm learning, I have not done before, is what happens if instead of 14 possible spaces for glass, we have 17, and that is why we have cabbages. The cabbage tech adds 3 spaces for us to mess with before we have to reset. And this Lumby Elite, you want Lumby Elite, yeah. I can't give you rates for not having Lumby Elite, but it will be cringe. However, if you can find something to do in between waiting, it could be worth. But yeah, this whole thing started because someone was like, Bushi, are you doing herb runs during your dorbs? And I was like, dude, I can't. And then we were like, but what if you could? And so I am trying. So this method, what I have for this method is for people who, 1, maybe don't have a looting bag, play bagless. 2, want to do herb runs. 3, don't have noted molten glass from Tob or Muspa. 4, don't want, or Thermi, don't want to, people who don't want to click charters. 5, like, if you don't have, like, you don't want to run Vile Vigor, Max Cape, Con Cape, Desert Ami, you have none of those things and you're not interested in running Vile Vigor, this is for you. This is for the cross-section of people who want to train crafting, not do cranes, not bank stand. If you want to run around, but you also don't only want to do this activity, this specific loadout is for you. That is what we are testing today. How to multitask this. I have dozens and dozens of hours on just doing this only on 18.3. Begging for a thing to use stams on? Yep. I use a stam about every 20 orbs, 21 orbs. A stam dose. This will eat your stams. Okay, so it's time for a herb run. So this is the tech that we worked out yesterday, because guess what? I don't have a quest cape right now. And instead of just going and getting my quest cape, I decided to run Dorbs. Yeah, this and Herbie. The PVM stuff is almost questionable, to be fair. Okay, you ready? Herb run time. Herb alert. But yeah, I skipped all the herb runs during the Dorbs I did, so this is like now a treat, if you will. Revolutionary tech. We've been cooking. Let me see if I can remember what I'm doing. So I unfilter, I use Cafteli. I swear the seaweed stack is not going down at all. You know, Sam, today the 3 will change into a 2 and the 6 will change into a 5, which I think is pretty big. Alright, like, this is now, like, the technology has evolved, like, cabbages have entered the chat, so... Alright, let me see if I can do this without screwing up. So now we go Fally. Okay, friends, to not mess this up, I need to remember to get off this spellbook when we leave Fally. Love how you seem to like crafting so much. I say fledging is my favorite skill, but I think crafting is starting to win. I like all of the crafting. Your stack number didn't go down during 99. Yeah, you have like 120k seaweed, right? Yeah, you don't even need 1,000 to get to 99. I think you need about 700, maybe 800 if you count all of the, if you count the teleports. I had a horrible thought, by the way, which is, when I'm done with this, I could do more by just farming like literally one patch and do a day of Dorbs and then just not, you know what I mean? Like seaweed grows so fast. Seaweed grows so fast that 2 seaweed patches, if you farmed 2 seaweed patches, you could Dorb for the entire day. Gonna whip up a calculator? Sure. I got a lot of math to give you. Isn't 2 patches like 60? I don't know. Are you ultra composting? But yeah, you could just one-off randomly do an hour with how little you use and how fast it grows. No, you don't even... No, I literally mean a whole day. If you get, like... The supply usage is really, like... If you are doing this activity and you have 100 seaweed, it's gonna last you hours. I cannot impress upon you, like, the extension of XP you get off of this. As in, like, extends your XP per supply by, like, 880%. You will not need, like, yeah. It is sickening how much it is. Yeah, no, it is actually ludicrous. So think about it, right? Yes, you need to make the teleports. But you only use, like... So let's say you're running a traditional, very strict 18-3 Super Glass Make. You cast Super Glass Make one time. You then need to blow all of the orbs, run to the machine, attach all of the things, and then run around and fix each lamp individually. It is going to give you a lot more XP and take a lot more time to use than if you're just bank standing the supplies. But as you do that, you don't just get the XP for crafting the lamp, right? You get 104 XP for attaching the goblin wire to the lamp to light it up, and then you get 500 XP each time you fix the lamp, and also in fire making, and then every 50 you get an additional XP drop. So it's cracked. Yeah, the technology on the wires is that there's a machine. We don't need to pickpocket them, which is what I think a lot of people do when they have a clue or something. There's literally a machine that dispenses them. Never did this because I thought the wires were like hard to get. Yeah, there's I'll show you when I get back from Herb Run, like how you're supposed to know about this activity. By the way, It is the lamp seller who tells you. I'll just leave that there. As it is, once again, a Dorb stream. Spacebar Warriors could never read a lamp seller dialogue. Well, then they don't get to enjoy this. The people who know lamps exist because of the clue step, they know that it exists because of the clue step. Well, the thing is, it has been a thing for a long time for Iron Man to be like, I am going to train crafting via glass blowing. And how many people have had an account where they just have like 100,000 light orbs sitting in their bank that they can't even destroy and they don't know why or what it's for? That's a thing. Having the 100 and whatever thousand lantern lenses or light orbs or whatever is like an Iron Man rite of passage almost. And so when I tell people, what if I told you that you could take those lamps and do something with them? So what happened was, and this isn't, look, this isn't busted XP. It's just our best XP. It's not insanely broken. It's just better now. What happened was they went ahead and did oh, it's over. I forgot to get on Lunars. They went ahead and did, fixing the lamp. It used to be a fire making that you would get. So now you don't get fire making. You only get you get a split fire. It's 500 fire making and 500 crafting. And that pushed it over the edge. No, Casey. Although, to be honest, I'm kind of glad that we don't. Because then people would just turn it into I don't know, like, I don't want a Dorb leaderboard. I don't want competitive Dorbing. I don't want, like, I just want people to enjoy the thing and do the activity or not. Someone did create this request on my behalf because it is fun number to flex. But, like, I don't know. It's not really the point. Like, it's not why I'm doing this. I'm just doing this because I have seaweed from having Numulate. And everybody's got to do a, you know. They turn everything into what I guess they call a dick measuring contest. Like, just enjoy your time in the city, you know? So it's like, I want people to know about Dorbs, but I also don't want them to know about Dorbs, because they better not change it. Canonically, it would be inappropriate to change it, and I'll show you why. Okay, so first of all, you've probably visited this NPC Miltog, who has the lamp still. Right? The lamp salesman. So, this NPC here. If you ask option 4, how do the lamps around the city work? It will be explained to you, because people are like, why are they always breaking? I'm like, because they're magical and the magic is unstable. They work by our very own Dorgeshuun magic. Sometimes they don't work very well, though. The light orbs blow and they have to be replaced. If you ever see a lamp that's gone out, you can fix it by replacing the light orb. You can make new light orbs out of glass and use a piece of wire on them to add the filament. There's a machine in the south of the city that makes the wire you need, and that is basically your invitation to Dorb. Yep. And canonically also, like on top of this, the thing is like Dorgeshuun magic is very unstable because they have super limited supplies. They don't really have a lot of runes and things like that. Why do you get stunned by the wire machine? Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to like, yeah, like it is a thieving action. I was trying to figure out why it was like that. So I think the concept is the machine is going fast. So it's, yeah, it's almost agility. It's like an agility stealth, like a quick thief action, right? Because you are taking, so I think it's not agility because agility is typically just climb over something. It's not take something. Yeah, sleight of hand, right? Yeah, yeah, it's, yeah, you gotta, yeah, so it makes sense to me that it is thieving because we take a thing. It's not parkour. Yeah, exactly. Like grabbing the knife from the loom and Wanted. Right. So you fail because the machine is going fast and you don't want to get your fingers caught in it. It has a horrible examine, by the way. I'll show you this minute. The wire is collected here. Noisy and dangerous, don't get too close. So I'm assuming this is just you got too close. But yeah, the reason, if folks didn't pick up on it, like the reason this requires, yeah, too close, a Lumberj's Elite Diary. It's not a requirement, but what happens is doing so, when you grab wire, you get 2 wires instead of 1. And you can't just spam click this, like it is a set respawn. Are all the stairs highlighted from the plugin, or was that all manual effort? This is me manual. I know that the yellow is quite a lot for people. I super appreciate that. I just haven't gotten around to finding a color. There's enough time to glass make 1 orb between thieving actions. Like there is, but it makes it incredibly click intensive, and I don't know why you would do that when you can just do it on the way over. No, but I'm aware of the yellow. Yeah, so let me show. You have some options. Different ways you can do this. So some folks, especially if you want it more subdued, obviously you can change whatever you want. There's interact highlight. Interact highlight is very much a thing. It's not bad at all. When I first got here, I couldn't see any of the like ladders and stuff. Like it was just too much. It's all brown and I can't, like, you know, so I just highlighted any of the clickies. Yeah, now some people have all interactables automatically highlighted. That was way too many things for me. So the way I did it personally was object markers. This was done manually getting started. And I object marked. So anytime I pathed, whenever I pathed somewhere, I'd be like, oh, I'm using this staircase. I would mark that. I would mark whatever I pathed with. So if I opened a door, I marked that door. And then tiles, whenever there'd be an arrow, and the arrow would point at something that wasn't there, I would be like, what floor is it on? So I'd mark also where, up, west, etc. Like, because like this is irritating. That's what the ups are for. Yeah. Yeah, up. Up. Up, 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 up. This whole corner is a mess, though. Don't even, just ignore this corner. It's awful. Like, literally, don't take spawns here. I'm just yapping, so I'm taking that. West. West means you're gonna have to go off these stairs. Bait means don't. Bait means click telly. We have learned. Yeah. So, marked all that manually. And, so object markers, after a while, what I would do is the blue, so blue is all, again, manual, and anytime I ran into an object called broken lamp, so if I run here, I'm really sorry if this sounds super condescending, but I need to be clear. If I look at this is lamp. If I object mark this, it won't do shit for me. But this is broken lamp. So as soon as I fix it, now it's lamp again, so it's in a different state. So I marked anything that was called broken lamp whenever I would find a broken lamp. So now I can scout all the blue ones from far away, instead of just being like, where are the lamps generally? That's only the good lamps, only the bad, only the lamps in need of love. That is what I did. Now, in terms of actual plugins, if you wanted a plugin, there is a plugin called Dorgeshuun Lights. However, I am not a fan. This is it's just very wordy. It's okay if you're just starting and you don't even know where the lamps can possibly be and you're trying to go find them. I think that's good for that, but ain't nobody got time to read all of this shit. I'm a words appreciating person, and this is fuck off with that. I don't want it. So, instead, click arrow. Click arrow. Mark lamp if not marked. It's not that deep. But yeah, like, I guess the yellow thing is just me saying I do feel that these markers are an eyesore, unfortunately. I just haven't found a more elegant way to deal with it. And I think that people who use the interact highlight thing have, like, it highlights things that are irrelevant, so I don't want that information. Anyway, look at this! Bam! We're about to be under 3k sand on hand, which is unironically huge. Whoa, buddy! We should bring a stam. There we go. But yeah, the one thing I've seen that I genuinely advise against is the people though that like run over to the machine and then drop half their inventory. I think that is cringe. You can only pick up one item per tick anyway, so like what are we doing? You're wasting your time. Like, I'm obviously not a tick manipulation addict or whatever. But just calm down, man. Just calm down. Just blow the glass for the last 3. Just fucking chill for a second, and then there. Okay, right? Like, I can't speed this up. It's not gonna matter. Anyway, if you want to try to blow one light orb in between spawns, be my guest. But dropping half the inventory is criminal. I stand by that. Yeah, I'm like already looking over here to see if there's anything nearby. Yeah, if you don't want to worry about your pathing at all, like, you can just be like, oh, the arrow that's built into the game is telling me to go here, and you can just follow the arrow. Me personally, I know that this isn't actually that close, so I just telly. And then I try to scout. So here, I'd be wanting to go up this ladder right here to see what is happening on this side. Yep, there's something up there. Brain off follow arrow is also minus 15. Brain off follow arrow is not really minus 15 when you're learning. Like, generally speaking, follow arrow is fine. If it keeps you moving, it works. But I'm just, you know, over time you kind of learn, like, I know that there's 10 lamps broken at any given time. And that right here, this is an opportunity. So see here, I'm going upstairs. I gotta look. Is there anything else up? Yes, there's a few. There's one there, there's two here. So I'm checking every time I go up. What else is up? You scout, constantly scouting. And if you have them highlighted, you can my render is really big on these, so I can see really, really far. So yes, follow arrow, but also keep an eye out as to like what's nearby. Like, this is an okay path, but I would probably take those stairs if I was really sending it. Because I'm yapping, I'm just gonna make some fairly suboptimal calls, but it's gonna be fine, because I saw these two earlier. But yeah, like, just honestly, just keep moving and you're fine. You're still, like, if you just keep moving, you're still gonna beat your rates on charters, you will. This one's a little questionable, but it's the only one I can really see right now, so I'll just take it. You know what I mean? Like, we take what we get. We're going upstairs after, though. And I'm noting southeast. Yep, there we go. So this is happy good, happy good. South is up. I need to clear that area out. It's a little bit of a run, but some people probably would have chosen to telly there, but I don't care. I'm chilling. This is just like one of those things where like consistency really adds up. If you're spending time wondering what the most efficient play is, you're losing time. Whereas if I just like, yes, I ran, but like look how many I'm hitting right here. Do let's go out randomly or once I'll add in there's a reset? As far as my understanding is that every time you fix one, another one breaks, and each player has 10 random ones in the city that are broken at any given time. And resetting a world hop doesn't do anything. Look at that! Someone would have said, oh, you ran too far to that spawn, but look at it, they're all here. So you can see that because we were scouting earlier that they were stacking up, and that this area would be like worth coming to. It's not crashable. Yeah, so like if I had 30 players, each camping a particular lamp, them repairing their lamps that they see as broken doesn't affect me. What does affect me is the wire machine. It is shared. So that you can rag each other there, yeah. Which I think thematically is appropriate. Dude, I'm kind of vibing with the 12 too. I kind of vibe with this. It was really fucked up at first, but like this is kind of a mood. The imbies go faster, so the pacing is interesting. I kind of fuck with this. Hi, Flash. Cabbages have entered the chat. How's it going? Dude, I'm thrilled. It's evolved. This is great for the shareholders. Invest in backpack stonks. We have had long conversations about the state of my Dorb supplies and how problematic it has become. And I was like, how do I get myself to Dorb? Even though, like, I enjoy Dorbing, but how do I get myself to use this up? So we added a few things. This now is combining Dorbs with the ability to do farm runs, and therefore possibly other things. Like, you could... I found a way that you could work... If you wanted to fletch during this, you could absolutely fletch. Maybe 2 or 3 people in a world wouldn't be horrid, but more is meh. I think you spend about 1/5 of your time at the machine. So if it was staggered enough, you could Dorb with someone, yeah. But yeah, we are... for those kind of hopping in, I see some folks are hopping in. For those hopping in, today we are testing a different ratio of sand to seaweed to see if it's viable. I actually started testing it yesterday. So that is a 12:2 super glass make instead of an 18:3 super glass make. What I found yesterday in testing was 12:2 where you have a very strict inventory, where you have like only 14 spaces available. It's about comparable to what you would expect running charter ship supplies for XP. And so today I am looking to see if I can reclaim 3 Envy spaces and run a 12:2. So instead of 14 possible lamps on an inventory, if I get 17 lamps on an inventory, that gets me a little closer to the maximum of 21 I had before. So if you can run 17, but you also get to do herb runs, and you also get to like bag your herbies. So this is for my herb run enjoyers, my hoarders, my bagless gang, all the people who don't have noted glass, who don't have a con cape, who aren't running vile vigor, who don't have desert Emmy, who don't have a max cape. If you don't have any of those things, that this is for you. This is what I made. But yeah, yesterday I had... So in lieu of the cabbages, yesterday I had just like 3 moon keys perma-ragging the inventory to simulate like what it would be like if you wanted to fletch during this. And it works, but it only gives you access to 14 lamps. So I was like, okay, if we veggie sack, then we can use that to give us the extra 3 lamps. And I think this feels, to me, a lot better. Because like 14 isn't a lot. 14 isn't a lot. 17, you can do a couple loops. Feels a little better. Ooh, they're very scattered right now. Okay. We'll do our best. And yeah, the shareholders. We're trying to burn through the sand. Do you use those keys, by the way? I am deathbanked. I'm partly deathbanked. I did not use the keys. They're actually not keys. They're key, loop half of key. Yes, Huey waiting room currently. I am currently incentivized to use up the sand on hand. This inventory space can be replaced by a Dragon Hunter wand. So I think I'm going to be doing this like for the weekend. Try to run it down. If I can run it down, I get to go back. Oh, you're a knock. Okay, this makes so much more sense. Thank you so much for that. Yes, I was at Moxie. Yeah, shout out Party Gang, by the way. We do have a hub party panel. Bougie party. If you want to hop in. How's the Blessed Bone Shards going? Okay, the bank is popping. We're making notes. Yeah, the technology, again, just in case anyone didn't see, is we get down to 12 spaces by emptying veggie sack and seed box. Since we're on 12, we can get our sand here. Then we fill the seed box, that gets us our 2. We're now on 12 too. And these 3 MVs could be anything, but if you use veggie sack, you have the option that it makes extra and you get to carry that extra glass with you. Which gets us to pretty good envy. Pretty close. That gets us 17. That is the current technology, the tech to beat. If you can do better, I would like to hear it. One of the things people were saying is like equip cloak or reclaim cloak, or I don't want to break full graceful personally, but we could probably take this even further. This is just, I'm trying to see what we can cram into the setup. You always break graceful. It's constant running. It's constant. I don't know what it would be like without graceful. I'm not sure. 90 more trips of dragons, so you prepped for bingo. That's gonna be one hell of a dopamine rush. $83 to $90 prayer in 3 hours? That's amazing. Alright, this run will be a little cringe. It's kinda, they're scattered everywhere. But it's fine. We're gonna brain off follow arrow for a bit. Just kidding. I need to get here because I want to go to the bank. Lol. When offhand pipe? No, alright, so hear me out, right? Equipable glass blowing pipe to your jaw slot. I would break graceful for it. Come on, Jagex. Think about the memes. Leg blower mask? Oh my god. It is outstanding. Oh my goodness. Love it. Yo, it's cat time. Okay, I know that's there, but hear me out. It's just one of those things. Sometimes you gotta say no to the arrow. Now we can go grab that one. Yep, and now we've given a chance for another one to respawn up here. What a 6k drop. You get an additional experience drop every 50 of 2.5, 2.5. It's pretty good dopamine. But yeah, a lot of the time, if you want to go faster, running around on the same floor, like running far distances on the same floor, isn't going to be as fast as going, like, traveling vertically. Like, a lot of the time you do want to be going up and down stairs, more so than along corridors, if you want to go fast. Like, see, so this is like a perfect example of one of the ones I wanted to mark, right? If you see an arrow here, you might think that you need to go in here and go upstairs, but it's a lie. It's actually over here in the corner. It's a down. It's a down. Correct. Do you see? Yeah, that's why I marked everything. Yep. Yep, yep. You can 100% get baited. It's happened many times. Sometimes I look at it and I still go there. The tech you learn from doing 200 hours of this, yeah. I there's so much I have figured out over time where I've been like, interesting. And some of it feels really fake. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna run here because I know that what'll happen next is this will cluster, but you only know that because you've done it so many times. But yeah, so when you're doing this, if it, I'll show also. All right, here, look, I have one left, which means I'm resupplying. So I will take this one. I will not go over there. I will take whatever's closest to the bank while I figure that shit out. Okay. One of my favorites is for making the tellies. So like out of instinct, right? If I was making tellies, out of instinct, I would just like cast super glass make right here, right? But ideally, instead, if you're making the tellies, you go to his lab and you do the cast there, so that if you're doing pickup on the excess for extra teleports, the pickup is in front of you instead of ferrying it back from the bank. That is something you only come to know after doing... How many of these? I mean, maybe someone figured it out, but it took me a long time to realize, wait a minute. Yeah, alright, we're coming up on 25k. I'm not trying to be, like, ego about it or anything. I'm just saying I didn't realize how much was involved in all of this until recently when someone asked me to do a running commentary on everything I was thinking during this. And I was like, oh my god, there's way too much. But it doesn't matter. Like, you can ignore all of it and just click a blue. Like, that also is so valid. It's just funny because I've never had, like, a thing in the game that I've done so much of that is also niche and is also good XP. Normally, I do the niche things that are awful. This, like, happens to be a niche thing that is actually good. Okay, we'll start here, we'll scout. South is empty, west is kind of empty. It's gonna be a mostly upstairs, mostly north right now. So we need to go up. This is where we go upstairs. Yeah. Right, so yeah, upstairs. Okay, alright, the Doom Corner. Only because I am right here will I take this horrible bait. We have to run around this whole house, but I'm right here, so it's okay. We'll just deal. We'll just deal. Gillinar's leading non-Dorg expert in Dorg light orbs. Yeah. Bait. But upstairs good. We'll go upstairs. And now we telly. We should telly. We want to get over there, ideally. Oh, we did it. I manifested it. Love these teleports. They're so good. The animation is good. The sound effect is good. It makes a Van der Graaf generator sound. It has a locator orb above your head when you do it. It's sick. Alright, I think we're teleporting as well. Unless the back-to-back? Oh, we've been blessed. Right, now we want to go over there. No, no, don't take that. Awesome. It sometimes do be like that. I teleported 2 tiles. Okay, wow. It really wants me to fix that one, hey? Alright, I'll indulge. I'm not happy about this. Alright, what do you want? This corner is so needy. What? What possibly? Okay, so anyway, as I was gonna say earlier, like in the chat, it'll say where the next one is. If arrow is not apparent for you, bad tellies. So when I talk about RNG, this is kind of what I mean. If your tellies are really lucky, if your spawns like tend to pop up next to each other, like you can sort of organize it by clearing out certain areas. So here's me checking to see if there's anything upstairs before I head down to that corner. These are pretty spread out. Like, you can force them to be clustered up by clearing out certain areas, but it's probably better to just try to clear, like, check places that you haven't been in a while. Alright, I'm irritated that we have to run that far, but this is about as far as I would run. That's like a cue to like hydrate. It's like take a sip of water as you're dealing with this next one. And hope that you get spawns, because there's a lot in here. Yeah, there we go. There's one. And sometimes it takes you back upstairs, which it is in this case, so we love that. Sometimes the game just wants something. Will you bless me? Yes. It's beautiful. Alright, so now we're chilling. We do this one, we fix one of them on the way to the bank, and then we're good. I will actually indulge this one right here, because it's right next to the stairs. So happy. I'm just saying my thought process. I'm not saying any of this is 100% optimal. There's people who are way better at understanding pathing and distance and things in this game than I am. But these are things that I have found helpful in terms of going faster, or you know, I kind of fucked up there, but I know I have noted 3 seaweed at a time for hundreds of hours, and just trying to do this way for the first time is rough. Muscle memory, a blessing and a curse. Yeah. No, I really like 18.3. It feels very good. The unequips, like the takeoffs, feel good as well. Okay. What's your favorite bit of UAM skilling? The unequipped tech? Yeah. Yeah, it's, yeah, UAM, UAM, UAM. Okay. We go. I guess I didn't really reset. I'm reluctant to reset rates and stuff for stream. Yeah, so what happened here? This is gonna bother me until I deal with it, so I'm gonna go do it now. What happened here, the reason we ended up with this, is that I did not grab my stamina. And I know I don't need it, but also I need it. If you know what I mean. Okay. Cool. I guess we did get our lamps, so we can go now. Stamina has a spot and it's not in the spot. This must be remedied. The fact that there's a seaweed in there is gonna torment me for the next 3 minutes. Her run timing kind of cursed. Do be like that. Did it also note of the seaweeds you had to prepped? True. I worry it would mess with my loop, but it already has. So now I cannot do anything. I broke it, and now I'm not doing anything. End of stream. It is a follow blue moment. We follow blue. We follow blue because we are distressed. Everything's gonna be okay. Just follow blue for a bit. Got a blood chart of a random fire task? Let's go. Yeah, no, it's okay. I understand. The brain misfires. There's a seaweed in the inventory that isn't supposed to be there, and now I cannot do anything. So, I get it. If only there was a way to get rid of it. I just literally can't think of anything other than continuing to Dorb. It's like there's no way to get rid of it. Because, like, we just have so few seaweed. We only have several hundred hours worth. It's stuck there. It begs to be processed. You understand. Dorbs, so the 500 XP you get when you repair the lamp. The 104 you get when you attach it to the lamp, or to the light orb. Attach the wire to the orb. However, you're also getting the 70 from doing the glass blowing. And every 50, you're getting an additional XP drop of 2500 crafting and fire making. Plus, I mean, token XP from casting super glass make if you're doing that. Yes. It is a lot of XP per supply. It will take you a lot longer to use up. Can lower the total sanity needed from 59k to 8k. What's your starting point and what's your target? $93 to $99? No, you need like 800. Seaweed. Sand? Um... 5k sand? A 12.2 now? This is the second iteration of testing 12.2. I don't like it. But it is good. It's not as good as 18.3. I'm trying to see if this version of 12.2 can be as good as 18.3. I found yesterday in testing a strict 12.2 where it's just 14 spaces available. I was able to get rates that you would expect to see from charters. So it was alright. But then you miss out. So here's what I did, right? I'll show. I'm testing. So the cabbages, so what I had is yesterday, I had 3, like, perma-ragged slots. And that allowed me to very quickly get to the 12.2. But then if you have overflow, it feels bad because these are perma-ragged. Enter cabbage technology. And then you get 3 more, so then you get up to 17. Because when you're on a strict 12.2, you can only get 14. But if you do this, you get 17. I'm used to having 21. 14 to 21, it's a very, very big nerf in terms of the flow and everything like that. Now, could I get an extra space by equipping this cape? Yes, but I don't want to break full graceful. That would piss me off. But this is the next iteration to see if I could do herb runs during this. This is why, because someone was like, how would you set it up if you wanted to do herb runs? And I said, like this. So here's where we are. Just to fuck around. I think I like 18.3 more. So I did it for 25,000 lamps almost. But I'm just showing this, like showing what we came up with. It has a very different flow to it, right? As you're leaving for your hourlies, and you have nearly 20% less time on an inventory. Definitely mixed feels, because it doesn't let you clear out an area as much. Also, it's quite awkward. You can do this with takeoffs as well. I didn't want to. My dream would be if we could use it as rune pouch would be the ideal fill empty, but rune pouch is too awkward. Slightly worse for higher flexibility. Well, the baseline yesterday with the perma rag, my XP rates on that matched charter orbs, which is way lower XP for me. But if you're fine with chartered orbs XP, a perma rag could be a thing. If you wanted those 3 inventory spaces that were cabbages, could be permanently there as fletching supplies or whatever the hell else you want to bring. So that was just a proof of concept. Now today I'm checking how many lamps I can fit into the NV. And this is the way I've chosen to do it. I could get one more if I rag the cape, but I don't want to break, like I said, I don't want to break graceful. I figured I would test this for people who don't have any of the quality of life, or people who are like bagless, or they want to run, they have a restriction, or they want to run not death banked, or what, for whatever reason, have some shit with them, like what it would look like. So I was like, let's test this. So that's what the lab is today. What else do we have? There's what do I want to say? What I'm trying to check now is if I'm running 17 possible lamps instead of 14, whether I can get close rates to my 18.3 that I was running for a long time. I don't think I can get there, which is unfortunate. So it kind of depends on if you value flexibility or not. The fact that you're still dorbing is impressive, IMO. The sand has created an emergency. Huey is on hiatus at the moment, and I realized maybe if I dorb until Huey back, then we can turn the sand inventory slot into a Dragon Hunter wand. Wow. Well, the thing is, I have sand in the machine, which I know concerns the shareholders of Backpack Stonks. But the thing is, if we clear this sand out, just in case folks don't, I don't blame you, by the way, if you don't intuitively know how much sand, how much stam, and how much seaweed this is. Like, the amount of sand I have is about 10% of the seaweed to use up, and the amount of stams I have would last me for about half of the seaweed. So, sand is 10%, stams is 50, seaweed would be 100. And it is, the sand is, let's just call it like several days of dorbs, right? The seaweed would be like a month of dorbs kind of thing. So what we're looking at is like, if I can clear the sand, and then I feel like dorbing sometime, I can just go to the machine, get a small amount of sand out, and then send it. Send it. Another thing to consider, if you are not me and you don't already have seaweed, because these supplies don't take very long to get, if you don't like charters and you want to do this, yeah, just sand it. Exactly, you understand. You could do the, what I like to call, ascension method. Like, you've ascended when you're not holding herbs or potions, and you literally just like go up to a farm patch and you're like, yo, I need a range pot real quick, and you just grab just straight out of the, you know. Anyway. Ascension. So if you had, let's say, 2 seaweed patches ready, and maybe you ultra composted them, because why not? That's probably enough seaweed for, quote, a day. Like, it depends, like, I'm not gonna give you hours or anything like that, but like, that is enough that you could go do several hours of dorbing on that much seaweed just off of like one patch that you then replant when you're done and you leave. And you could do this to where you just like, I feel like doing a bit of crafting, and grab your seaweed that way. Just intermittently, and then they don't perma-rag your bag. Normally, by the way, if you're in this corner, you should hit the teleport instead of running all the way to the bank, but I'm yapping, and we're gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna use this time to scout which dorbs are up. Yeah, I really like the idea of using the seed box to manipulate the inventory while having the seed box be with me due to wanting to farm. This makes me very happy. So cabbages, kind of but yeah. But yeah, see, putting those cabbages away does let me get those extra 3 glass if they choose to drop for me. The bank stand crafting. So the thing is, like, I did bank stand crafting, obviously, to get to 87. And that was, like, awful. I started doing it and I was like, there's no way we're doing this for, like, 2 weeks. This is bullshit. I don't like... The concept of dropping all of the stuff doesn't make any sense. Why would you make things only to throw them away? You should make things for the purpose of using them. That really annoyed me. So I didn't like it. So I was like, well, what can I use these things for? And then I realized that we can use the lamps for something. I hated it. I jumped around a lot. I went to all the different banks. Anyway, I hope this is, like, ends up being helpful. Just in case someone is wondering if they're operating on a tight inventory, that, like, yes, 12.2 is viable. Alright, unfortunately I don't have my stam here, so we're gonna go run and grab it. It's gonna annoy me. Arnold is good if you want to sell everything rather than dropping them individually. Yes. Another place I do that is the RFD chest for making ultra compost. RFD for making ultra compost, selling the buckets back is really cool. We're just working our way over to the bank so I can get my damn stamina. I don't normally run full stams. They're actually super annoying. I run off 2 dose stams, but here we are. I'm just feeling it out. See, there's like way too many changes, to be fair. It's pretty overwhelming. And I also don't like trying to remember to do a herb run because I don't know when my herb run's gonna be, and it's like stressful. So on the list of like activities during which you to herb run, this for me would be very much near the bottom. We're gonna check. Oh, there's not much here. Okay. Like I would definitely prefer to keep 18.3, I think. But like with this quantity, I mean missing out on that many herb runs will eventually hurt a little. Anyway, what other technology we have? So fletching came up. Magic Imbue is... Magic Imbue could be on the table. I'm not sure what else. But yeah, I'm here testing this so you don't have to. It does work. There's a lot of clicking in this. Like I am 18.3 gang for sure. But I am also at a point where crafting is just a side quest. So crafting is a side quest, and I am you know, on Torstal quest. We're clicking the farmer. I got like 11% of my torstals, so I'm gonna be needing to plant a lot more stuff in order to get through it. And if I cannot progress herbruns while also doing this, it will eventually hurt. That being said, that is probably still my recommendation to like not. Like you should not. I don't think. I mean, it's more effort for less XP. Like I'd rather just 18.3. But I wanted to check how viable, like how much does it rag? Just wanted to do a test. Like again, if you're far south like that, definitely consider teleporting. I just I got a lot on my mind. The nice thing about this is that there's no equipment takeoffs. Like I definitely enjoyed running equipment takeoffs on 18.3. But this is kind of satisfying tech to use. Another thing I do like is that when you do run a smaller inv, and this is particularly clear if you're doing a very strict 12.2. If you're doing a 12.2 that doesn't have the cabbage technology, and you have, like, let's say you had fletching supplies with you, you could have all of the lamps done by the time you get to the machine, which feels decent and does help even out the XP a bit. I think that's why it helped, like, that's why it was closer to Charter's XP than not. Anyway, only 2,000 inventories to go, friends. Wow. Actually, how are my runes doing? There we go. 105 astrals right now. 3,000 at this rate. Yes, but also teleports. So I would need to make tellies. I would say again, envelope I should check sometime, but I would say you probably want 1 teleport per seaweed, approximately. But it's okay. We're not trying to get to the end of all of it. We're just testing this method for a while we plant some herbs. Not worry about it. We're just trying to run down the sand. GM. Let's get Arnlore. Actively running away from this area because it's terrible. Don't go to that corner. What are we getting up to? Okay, bad spawn, but do be like that. What we do is we'll take this and then we check downstairs to see what we're looking at. Nope. Still nope. Still nope. Sorry, I ran out of music. Hold on. Wow, there's no way. How does she know? Okay, hang on. Um, Killing snake? Okay. You looking for anything in particular? You just tell me you're killing snake for flax for new fletching method. Let's go. Wow, there's absolutely nothing here. Okay. I need to, like, absolutely not engage with the new content because it will destroy me. I did pot crab a little bit, while I was pondering what to do next. We got our 2100 total. And then I said, okay, great, everyone. I made total level go up. Let me go do some post 99 bullshit for a while. New bowstring spool lets you note strings. Right? You know I'm all about that spin flax. We love the Lunar Spellbook. You did go for Serpalm. Kind of gave up on that 2,300 kills ago. Right now it's just like a vibe then, surely. Okay, where are we going? We're not gonna do too much more today. There's a lot of stuff going on. I kind of need to keep it a shorter one. But I did want to stream for the technology. But yeah, this tech will work. It does work. Confirmed. We're confirmed. Don't look at XP per hour because it's not gonna be accurate. Don't even worry about that. But yeah, like it does work. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go get a note, some more seaweed, and look! We get a moment! This is the most exciting thing that can happen during Dorbs. Are you ready? Huge for the account. I'm gonna unnote the seaweed and the number is gonna go from a 6 to a 5. Pause. Holy shit. High octane. We did it! Now we don't have 6,000 seaweed anymore. This is very good. Let's go! Dude, you could unlock this activity at level 87, do all of your crafting to level 99, and still not see that happen. This changes everything. So real. I have to say once again, like, thanks everyone so much for the support on our YouTube video. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but I did not think that we were going to get like 700 views on it. Like, I realized like everything about the video was intentional, but still, that was very touching. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'll do updates in the Discord on this, but I'm gonna be putting the VODs on the YouTube channel going forward, and then I have backed up semi-secretly, semi-archived every VOD ever. So, if you want to see past Bougie, like, I think the very first one, which we don't have up yet, but the very first one is, like, me doing a show and tell in, like, March of last year, and the foreshadowing and the fact that just nothing changed is really funny. I was gonna do a reaction video of, like, Bougie reacts to past Bougie, but I was like, no, I think we just let her speak for herself. We, like... The time capsule is real. So I thought, okay, what I'll do is make like a playlist, and we'll put up old VODs chronological order, just as an archive. It's whatever, you know, just so it can be there. And then intermittently while that is happening, as there are ideas for specifically made for YouTube VODs, or made for YouTube videos, I will be putting those on the channel. Those of course take quite a lot more time, effort, editing, help, consult, question mark, make clickbait, etc. There are a bunch more ideas for specifically YouTube videos, but I did hear from some folks who were like, man, if you're a VOD watcher, I mean, some people are, could do that. Hi, Bear. Yo. Bear sighting in Dorgeshuun? Have a message for me? No way. And yeah, friends, we made some progress today. Some decent cookery, I think. Thanks, Bear, for the kind message. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm not sure how much further we can go with a 12.2 technology, but I have tested it now in a couple of different ways. How much did we... Oh yeah, we definitely are kind of keeping a respectable pace on this method. It is, like, the cabbages are extra work, but it does help your XP. I still prefer 18.3, but if you're a person who's looking for some kind of flexibility in your loadout, and you want to do herb runs, this is one of the ways you can make that happen. But yeah, I think that is a good place to wrap it up for today. Yeah, TLDR, if you want to do Dorbs with a looting bag and do herb runs, you absolutely can. And if you would like to add more things to that loadout, it is possible. I expect that a very strict 12.2 is about comparable XP to charter ship crafting, and that at 12.2 with this cabbage-like technology where you're not perma-ragging, you can get up to 17 lamps in the inventory, sits somewhere in between charter crafting and noted supply 18.3. It's not going to be as good as 18.3, it just won't, but it does allow you to go do a herb run. So I'm going to go do that. Because boy, do we have some goodies to plant. We've been farming. And yeah. Alright, friends. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.